our politically incorrect segment tonight, a Fresno State University professor instructed students from his class to join him in defacing a pro-life student group's chalk message. And now they're taking the professor to court. Despite the students having received permission from the university to write the message, the professor said the students could only express themselves in the so-called free speech area. It's phenomenal. Take a look.
Hey guys, you know we have permission for this stuff, right?
We have a teacher that's telling us to get it. Yeah.
What's your teacher's name?
That's it.
You're not sure?
Huh?
So why are you taking them off if we have permission?
Our teacher.
Your teacher told you?
Yeah. You can stop recording them. Yeah, I don't want to be recorded. That's actually pretty illegal to record people.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Excuse me, we have permission for all of this?
No, you don't.
We do actually have the email, and you can call student involvement. From Plan Ops and student involvement, yes.
All right, then
We do. Yes, I am.
That's perfectly fine. The whole idea of free speech is that we have a free speech area here on campus.
But we have permission for all of this.
Free speech is free speech in the free speech area. It's a pretty simple concept. Okay. This does not constitute a free speech area. Okay.
Okay, but we have
permission. If you have permission, then I will verify that you have permission.
Please do, and then please tell your students to stop until you verify that.
What are my students doing that is not part of free speech?
They told you that they're wiping out what we have permission for.
If you see them wiping it out?
Yes, I did. I actually have video of it.
Okay, here, let me show you.
You didn't have permission to record. I don't want to be recorded.
You have permission to put it down.
Yes,
I have permission to get rid of it.
Good to know.
This is our part of free speech. Do you disagree with our part of free speech?
Absolutely, I disagree.
Really?
And you disagree with mine, too.
No, I don't. If you would have written this over there, I am perfectly fine with you doing that. I am perfectly fine with you having a free speech in a free speech area.
But you're exercising your free speech in a non-free speech area.
College campuses are not free speech areas. You understand? Obviously, you don't understand.
With me now, senior counsel and the director of the Center for Academic Freedom with Alliance Defending Freedom, Casey Maddox. Casey, thanks for being here.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Now, Casey, you, of course, are representing these students in this lawsuit against the school. This video, it's almost enthralling to watch that this professor, knowingly on camera, is saying these things. But that line where he says college campuses are not a free speech area, I mean, he's a professor. Has he not read the Constitution?
Well, it certainly seems that way. I mean, the only permit that a student needs to be able to speak freely on a university campus is the First Amendment. They already have that right. So, you know, he's just flat wrong, and he's basically appointed himself as a roving censor to walk around the campus just eliminating messages he doesn't like.
No, and I love this in a sense. I mean, I'm sorry for the students that it happened to. Hopefully you have a good outcome in court here. But I love when liberals expose themselves in this way, because so often they hide this type of censorship in a pretense. They pretend that they're protecting someone else from being offended, but really, when their true colors show, they just want to stifle. They just want to silence. So now these students are actually taking him to court saying, you tried to stifle me, you tried to censor me, you violated my First Amendment. I mean, what do you expect to happen in court?
Well, we expect that this will be made right. I mean, this is a government-paid employee who is deciding that he's just going to censor student speech. And even when they explain to him, they have every right to do everything they're doing. He's just decided that he's going to be a roving censor, just going to walk around and make sure that he enforces his own personal view of what the First Amendment means, which apparently is nothing on a university campus. He doesn't have that right. These students have a right to be able to participate in a marketplace of ideas on campus at Fresno State. And he's just not comfortable with the First Amendment, apparently, which is really unfortunate in the state that we see on many university campuses around the country today.
Right, right. And I did think it was hilarious at the end. I believe the student's name was Bernadette, as cited in the video, when she was like, well, you're exercising your so-called right to free speech and destroying our chalk drawings outside of the free speech zone. I mean, that's a good one.
No, that's exactly right. I mean, it's funny. He can't quite figure out what he wants to say and what he thinks the law is, other than that he knows that he has the right to be able to eliminate other people's messages that he disagrees with. And we see this on university campuses around the country. We represent Ben Shapiro at Cal State Los Angeles, for example. Again, professors organizing students, much like the situation at Fresno State, and trying to block other students from being able to express themselves. It's an epidemic, and we need universities to step up and tell these professors, you don't have a right to censor people's speech. This is supposed to be a place that's a marketplace of ideas where students are able to engage one another in expression.
Oh, absolutely, 100%. And kudos to the students who actually expose these types of stories. Kudos for the recording. And let me ask you about that from a legal standpoint. There was one girl, one of the girls that was defacing the pro-life display. She kept saying she didn't want to be recording, and that was so totally illegal or something like that. The pro-life student was well within her legal boundaries to be recording that incident, if I'm not mistaken.
Absolutely. I mean, this is, first of all, you're in public with everyone else when they're recording this. So you've got that problem for the student. But more importantly, she's engaging in an act of censorship. She's out there taking messages as other people are writing them down and telling people that you don't have a right to be able to record evidence of what's happening. You know, that's stretching it a bit too far.
Right.
But we went ahead and eliminated their faces so that you don't see those in the video as an act of grace here. But I mean, come on. You can censor me, and I don't have the right to be able to record evidence of what you're doing.
Right. I mean, it's just classic liberal hypocrisy. They're worried about their rights when, in fact, their rights were not being violated as they're violating someone else's right. It's ridiculous. Casey, thanks for exposing this story. Good luck in court, and let us know how it all turns out. We want to hear the resolution of this.